And this is episode 1, and cue the fancy intro. It's over.
Alright.
This is the Unhindered podcast with Buck and Miller.
I'm Buck.
And I'm Miller. So we figured, it'd be a good idea if you got to know us first. So, basically a lot of people have dubbed, and a certain community is dubbed as the Mad Minute, okay? Yeah. So basically we're just going to ask each other a bunch of questions. The Mad Hatter, okay? I've got one for you, though.
Alright.
Okay, Buck, I got a question for you.
Question. I got an answer.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Oh, that one's easy. It's Captain America.
Why?
Well, one, it's America. But two, what he represents. Okay, he represents patriotism and the willingness to go out and do something without being told to or without being asked to.
Mm-hmm.
He literally saw no limit because of his size
Mm-hmm.
and who he was. He just wanted to help people and make a difference. And nobody was going to stand in his way.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody. He was lying. He could have gone to prison.
Right, yeah, because he lied.
And he wanted it so bad. He wanted to help other people and defend his country and be a good American.
Yeah.
And he, because of his hard work, because he was able to push through all of that adversity, he not only got what he wanted, which was to help people, but he became so much more than that. And I think that's an admirable thing, plus Red, White, and Blue is pretty
Yeah. Duh.
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 I mean,
Oh, glory.
all glory.
Joining us in there.
Alright, so my first question for you
Oh, dear.
is a question that I'm pretty sure many people have pondered before,
Yes.
especially our students.
All right.
So it's a very important question.
Very.
Why the beard?
Why the beard? Dang, the beard? Oh, man, just almost every historical figure has had a beard.
Abraham Lincoln,
Grant,
Robert E. Lee, George Custer.
Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor.
Yeah.
Oh, Joshua Chamberlain.
Michael Murphy.
Michael Murphy. The entire special operations community. Shout out to Murph.
Shout out to all veterans.
Yeah, shout out to all veterans. Happy Veterans Day. No, I mean, the beard, basically, you guys really want to know, like, when it gets cold out, your face gets cold.
Right.
So, if you have hair there, it's warmer.
That makes sense.
That's really, like, what happens.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I've been trying for a long time.
I think if I put like Rogaine on my face, it'll fine.
Maybe. I've heard that sometimes it works.
Oh, okay.
But that's why I have the beard. Yeah.
Alright. Pretty good, I guess.
So it's my turn to ask you another one?
I think that's how it goes.
Alright.
We're still
This-
figuring it out.
This is a deep one.
Okay.
Alright.
Like the ocean deep.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And wide. If you could travel to any time period, what time period would it be and why? This applies to the future. And who would you talk to?
Okay, so being a history teacher, history major, not going into the future. Plus, I've seen that movie and it didn't end too well.
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I would go back. There's two places that I really want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that I want to see are people in two different eras that I really want to meet. The first would be the Civil War. I love studying the Civil War. The 1860s, the end of slavery, the fight for civil rights, the fact that we were a divided country and we're able to come back together.
I mean, the fact that we almost didn't have the United States.
Right, and
Yeah.
look at us today. I
Yeah.
mean, we're 50 states.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Together.
not 100%
Right.
united on every idea, but we can function as a country.
Yeah.
So I would love to sit down and talk to three people from that time period.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln,
Hmm.
the man that was able to pull it all together
Yeah.
and make the tough decisions that had to be made as President of the United States. Robert E. Lee, the absolute military mastermind, probably
Right,
one of
yeah.
the best military tactics generals in the history of the United States. And the fact that he was loyal, not just to his country, but to his state and to his family.
Yeah.
And to his neighbors.
And it was a big thing when I fought for the South.
Right. He was offered to be general of the United States Army.
Yeah.
And he turned it down, saying that he was going to fight for his home state of Virginia, which had seceded. So the fact that he was able to maintain that loyalty, even though he was being pressured from all sides not to fight for the South.
Yeah.
And then General Grant, who eventually became president, but the fact that he was able to put an end to the war, which so many other Union generals could not do, or really were nowhere close to doing.
Yeah.
But then for him to do that and then turn around and fight for peace, between the North and the South.
Yeah.
As opposed to destroy everything.
Right.
So those are the three guys I'd love to meet in that time period. The other time period I'd love to go back to is the founding of our country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Meet the man, the myth, the legend, George Washington.
Oh, Big Daddy George Washington?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to have dinner with him.
Yeah.
And,
well,
just the fact that he was so aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
He knew what was happening. He knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to make decisions and do things based on that. If you look at his farewell address when he left the presidency, for one, he only chose to serve 2 terms because you know why?
Because he didn't want to do it.
He
didn't want to do it. Yeah.
But he did it because his country called upon him. Again, another patriotic man that when his country called upon him, he served.
And the fact that he recognized that they didn't necessarily need him in the role anymore, I think is huge.
And he didn't want to be a tyrant. He didn't want to continue leading the United States. And now, we have a term limit of 2.
Yeah.
So you can
based
only
on his
serve.
example.
Right.
Yeah.
His farewell address, going back to his farewell address, he predicts the Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
He calls it out and says, you need to address the issue of slavery.
Yeah.
Or it's going to completely destroy this country.
Yeah.
You need to avoid political parties.
Yeah.
Or it will create a divide within the country and nothing will be able to happen. Look at today. Look at our Congress.
Yeah.
Look at our nation in elections.
Yeah.
Okay? He called that in like the 1790s.
Yeah. And the fact that he could see that coming.
Yeah. Is absolutely amazing.
And it's not like he did that as a profession before. He was he was a kid in the British Army.
Right.
Before he did that.
And then he was a surveyor.
Yeah.
He looked at land, measured it, using math.
And then
math is important.
And then somehow using math. And then somehow was a good president.
Yeah, and then to say, also in his farewell address, stay out of foreign affairs. Don't worry about what other people are doing, what other countries are doing, because it's not going to matter to the United States.
Right.
And then we turn around and we fight in the Spanish-American War. We fight World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the war on terrorism.
What? Less than 30 years later, the War of 1812.
Yeah.
Back
the British were back.
The British were back. Anyway. That's
a
rabbit hole we could talk about for like a whole hour and a half.
But I'd love to meet him and sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
Get a selfie. I'm not sure if I would have it painted or just take a picture with my camera though.
I think I'd just take a selfie with him.
Probably.
Yeah. Because the only thing I see of him is painted.
Yeah. Yeah, so guess we're on to our next question, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
So the next question for you is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live and why? And be as specific as possible. You do not have to use latitude and longitude.
Yeah, I don't have to like line it up on the map?
No.
Alright.
I could teach you how to do that.
Most people that know me like that will know like, oh, I'm going to say East Texas. I want a ranch in the woods, kind of off by myself on my own land. That's the big thing. I'm literally just chasing land. Like, that's what I want. I want land. But I think maybe as I've started to get a little older, like dream, we're talking about money is not...
No.
You don't have to worry about money.
No.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like southern Utah, like Park City area.
Okay.
And like I'll buy all those red canyons. I really love riding my bike, so I would love to join the kind of the downhiller community and just shred the gnar through all those red canyons.
Not to mention, like, just hiking.
Just hiking
or
and just being
rock
there.
climbing.
Yeah,
or,
and being there.
Being out in nature.
And then you're like
in the world.
a 3-hour drive from like Colorado and all this different stuff like that.
Right.
You're into
Many national parks.
So many different things that you don't see kind of, in the Chicago land, if you count us in that, stuff like that.
At least you wouldn't see cornfields anymore.
Yeah, you don't see cornfields anymore.
Or bean fields.
Or bean fields.
Beautiful red rocks.
Take your pick. But we need that.
Right.
That feeds the people.
It does.
It does. It feeds my food.
That it does.
So I got another one for you.
All
Good one for you. A little deeper.
Okay.
Probably could spark some arguments.
Okay.
Okay. If you could be the president for one day,
Ooh.
what would you do and why?
Ooh. Let's see. If I was president.
Yeah, for one day.
See, I'd want to be president for more than one day.
But you were allowed to do anything you wanted.
Anything I wanted.
Yeah.
So, like, Constitution's out the window?
Constitution's out the window. You're technically a president that can do what he wants for a day.
Dictator for a day.
Dictator for a day, basically.
There's so much that I would do. So, I'll list a couple of things that I would try to do. First, I would try to get Congress to actually make decisions. I'd try to mend that divide between the political parties.
Yeah.
Because as long as there's that hard of a divide between political parties, nothing's going to change in the United States.
Yeah.
We're just going to have a bunch of old men and women sitting around saying, no, 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 no. The other thing I think I would do is I would cut government spending.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably cut all of Congress's checks. Congress wasn't meant to be a profession.
Right. That's a big thing.
It was meant to be, you represent the people of your community, and when you're done with that, you go home. You go back to your job.
Yeah.
You come when you're called, you make decisions when you need to,
Yeah.
and then you go home.
Yeah.
So I would try to get, I couldn't get the United States, I couldn't fix the entire debt problem.
Obviously, yeah.
But I would try to at least get us to the point where we're getting back into a positive year.
Yeah.
One positive year mixed with one negative year is how you create a balanced budget.
Right.
The problem is that we've been running so many consecutive years in the negative that it's going to be a huge hole.
And with money, a bunch of negatives don't make a positive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 negatives make a positive, but then you add another negative. Like it's
just
kind of downhills.
From there.
I try to at least get us back on the right track.
Right.
Which I guess, if there were no limits on me as president, the Constitution was out the window. I was kind of a dictator for a day. The United States, which I don't approve of dictators. Democracy all the way.
Yeah.
But if, kind of going into your last question, if you could do anything, knowing that nothing bad would happen, and that you could not feel fear, what would you do and why?
I could not feel fear.
Nope, fear is gone.
So literally why I'm doing my chosen event, I'm not afraid.
No. You're not afraid. Right.
Yeah. I think I said earlier, like when we were talking about this, I want to set the next jump from space to Earth.
Yeah, that guy that walked out of the Red Bull.
Yeah, the guy that walked out of the Red Bull can did it.
Yeah.
I'd want to just move my 10 feet higher, and I'd do it. But what if I base jump from the moon?
I don't think that's possible.
I think we could try it.
We got to get a jetpack. We could build. It's not possible yet.
It's not possible yet.
Okay.
But
we'd have to build a jetpack.
Yeah. What I would do is base jump from the moon back to Earth. You seen that movie Gravity? How he went all the way around the Earth?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay, forget it then.
All right.
Basically, I would fly through space back to Earth. That's what I would do.
That would be
Be interesting.
It would be pretty interesting.
It would definitely shatter some goals.
They'd
Some
make
records.
that an Olympic event.
Base jumping from the moon.
Yeah, that'd be the next high dive.
High dive from space. I'll give it a 4.
Guys, I don't think our pool's big enough. It's gonna need a parachute. Get caught in the actual high dive.
Bro, where are we going with this?
Alright, so the whole point of this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we just
not just ask questions.
Not just ask questions, not just interview each other. But to talk about living our lives unhindered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The idea of unhindered being literally, I'm unobstructed. Like I'm in the state of not having obstacles in my way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of how we got our name.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
For our podcast is that we want to help people remove those obstacles.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest obstacles that people have is their own mindset.
Oh yeah.
They get into their own head and they say, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm horrible. I've always failed. I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is help people to develop a growth mindset, or at least see a growth mindset in action. Or in the real world.
Or start that process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many examples that we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
With growth mindset.
I mean, you look at. I mean, you go back to even the people we mentioned earlier, like George Washington, things like that. The idea of, I think he realized that having a growth mindset is not something that I ever just achieve and I'm done with.
Right.
He realized that was a state that he lived in, a state of being almost. Right. Yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh yeah.
The guy was constantly learning.
Oh yeah.
One of the most educated people in U.S. history. Knew like 7 or 8 different languages.
Oh man.
Had the largest library in the United States at the time that he was alive. Sent people out west, Lewis and Clark out west.
Yeah.
You know, to explore, to learn what is out there. Yeah. Send me things. I want to learn.
Right.
I mean, you think of Thomas Edison.
Oh yeah.
When he's creating the light bulb. Not only do I know one way to create a light bulb, I know 1,000 ways not to.
I mean, that's the twist on what failure is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole idea of I'm going to see my failures not as a stopping point, but almost as another starting point.
Right. As an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing failure as an opportunity to learn more.
Oh, yeah.
As a way to build.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not there yet. I'm not able to do this, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Thomas Edison sitting in his workshop. I can't make a light bulb, but I'm going to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be famous and make lots of money. Actually, didn't he die? Before he made lots of money.
I mean, most people die and then they make a lot of money.
But think about it.
Yeah.
Without that light bulb.
We wouldn't have this.
One, we wouldn't have light up here.
Yeah.
Could we say that we have...
Electricity then?
You know, yeah. Electricity in the home.
In general, yeah.
Would we have computers? Would we have, computer screens, cell phones?
Oh, yeah.
Because of one invention.
Yeah.
Because one guy didn't want to give up.
Right. And I think that idea hinges a lot. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier. When you asked me that question, right? Mm-hmm. You worded it in a way that you said with the removal of that fear of failure. And I think that whole idea is that we're too scared to want to try something. Right? We think failure is not cool.
Yeah.
Right. That's the big thing.
Right.
I mean, society in general now.
Yeah.
We think that it's not cool to. I mean, it's the whole idea of instant gratification. I don't want to work for the stuff I want.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it because I know I will fail.
Right.
So why embarrass?
Why
myself?
try? Yeah.
Yeah. Why try? Why embarrass myself? It's not worth it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that I see. I mean, when we were coaching the season, right?
Right.
We ended up losing 9 games.
9 games.
9 games, and then one day you worded it perfectly when we were talking to the guys. Like, I understand that we lost, but really what that is opportunities for us to learn something or fix something.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's okay. How did we grow from playing this team? How did we get better? I mean, you even look at the teams that we played.
Yeah.
We lost to Moments the first time.
Yeah.
6-2.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people in soccer would say that's a blowout.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that's a blowout.
And to turn around and beat them in the tournament.
In the tournament, and you beat them in a shootout.
Yeah, in a shootout.
Yeah. That was...
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, we're not going to go to that game.
But just having that growth mindset and seeing that growth mindset in our students and our athletes.
Oh, I mean, that's a huge thing now we have the weight room, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love programming workouts that make people reconsider why they started.
But then they come back. They come back because they want to get better.
They come back, and I mean, you see, the thing I was saying the other day, right? One more rep. You can always do one more rep. Right. You can always run a little bit faster, right?
I can't remember his name. The guy from Hacksaw Ridge?
I've never seen it.
You gotta see it.
I know, I gotta see it.
Help me get one more.
One more, right.
One more. Help me get one more guy. Not only is he physically exhausted, being shot at.
I just gotta get one more.
I just gotta get one more guy. I gotta save one more guy. Time after time, and it builds up.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
that's the thing, right? Like, you look at something like, let's say your goal is to go to college.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I have to get through 4 years of high school.
Yeah.
How about I have to get through one more week?
Right.
I have to do good this week.
Yeah.
Then I make it to the weekend. Well, now I have to do good this week.
Right.
And I break it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing. We're kind of going into the Veterans Day thing. You watched a lot of the videos. You ask people how they made it through SEAL training.
Right.
Like, anyone who looks at it as eight months, or the 6 months, never makes it.
Right.
Anyone's like, I'm gonna focus on what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And get through that.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that make it.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole idea of what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna do the best of my ability, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm gonna get one more.
So, when I was in college, we got a new athletic director.
Uh-huh.
My senior year, one of the two.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It all kind of runs together. But he started this new idea of swing the axe.
Ooh, I
Okay,
like that.
and so it's he told a story. There's a young man in the woods, young lumberjack.
Yeah.
Okay, and
With a beard.
Yes, with a beard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
With a beard.
Instant helmet costume.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's swinging the axe at this tree, right? He's got to cut this tree down, and he's swinging, and he's swinging, and he's swinging. Taking 99 swings, and he stops to take a break. And he's so exhausted. He's like, I'm never gonna get this tree to fall.
Yeah.
And this older gentleman comes up, the older lumberjack, says, hey, mind if I take a swing at it and help you out? He's like, go ahead, this tree's never gonna fall. And the older lumberjack takes one swing and knocks the tree down.
Yeah.
And so the young lumberjack's like, how do you knock down a tree with one swing? And the old lumberjack goes, all I did was push the tree over. You're the one that swung the axe to get it there. And the whole idea at college was to build the programs. Keep them building. But I mean, that fits right into a growth mindset.
Yeah.
Of, you've got to do all the work, right?
Yeah.
The one guy didn't do all the work.
Yeah.
He just came and benefited from the work that the other guy did.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
That somebody else benefited from your work.
Yeah.
I mean, he still got his job done. He helped another guy out, and he learned something in the process.
Yeah.
So what happened at college was the athletic director actually bought an axe, a real axe, and like during our soccer games, he would come out and set it in center field, like.
Nice.
Just
dug into the ground?
Yeah.
Nice.
Axe it in the middle of the ground.
Wow.
They did it at the football games. They take it to the volleyball games, the basketball games. Swing the axe, and it's still the motto at Eureka. But it's just that idea of the work is worth the result.
And the hard thing is that you go back to the instant gratification thing.
Yeah.
They don't realize that what I'm putting in today might not hit its full fruition until 10 years from now.
Right. We wouldn't be where we are if we didn't.
No.
Work hard in high school.
No.
Or work hard at some point in our lives.
I mean, obviously that's a different conversation that we'll talk about later, but those decisions that we made along the way, or those people that helped us, got us to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
And we may not have seen it then, but we see it now.
Right. The fact that, I don't know about you, but at one point in my life, I thought I had it all planned out.
Yeah.
I had everything planned out.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
If you asked me my junior year of high school, my senior year of high school, my first semester, senior year of high school, what I was going to do, I would not be describing teaching.
Talking on a podcast?
At this school, or talking on a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how our life can change just by outside circumstances, but
Oh, yeah.
overcoming those obstacles.
Well, I mean, the fact that, I don't know how you and I met. I just randomly happened to student teach at St. Anne.
Right.
And that's, now I'm there.
And now we're podcasting.
And now we're podcasting. That's a thing. Yeah. And we're doing it.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
I mean, growth mindset is not something that you just develop.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Absolutely not.
It's something you have to work at. And everyone, forever and always, says so in my growth mindset book.
Yeah.
Is going to have some sort of fixed mindset.
Yeah.
It's always going to creep up.
We always have that level.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got a time where they're like, I just can't do it. When we're in the gym.
Yeah.
There are literally times when we can't lift the weight.
Yeah. I mean, I missed the cleaning the other day.
Yeah. So it's not saying that a fixed mindset is bad.
Right.
It's just learning when we can use that fixed mindset and grow from it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's where we're going to go with this podcast.
Yeah.
Is we're going to be talking about different ways that you can overcome different obstacles.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously tell stories of when we've overcome obstacles.
And that may even be different things, sharing with you some tools, us just talking about something,
right?
Anything, going through a book like that, sharing stories of other people that we thought were inspiring,
bringing in guests,
things like that.
Sometimes just talking about random stuff because we want to talk about it.
We want to talk about something.
But I think the big thing is just focusing on that word unhindered.
Yeah.
Okay, and unhindered doesn't necessarily mean that the obstacles are gone. No. It means that you can overcome them.
You're in the process, and you understand that you can take steps to remove those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we want to do is help people reach that unhindered mindset.
Yeah.
And to start living their lives.
Oh yeah.
Unhindered.
I think it's pretty good, Buck.
I think so too.
So, comment, please. It's on YouTube. I think the comments on YouTube are on the bottom, and then you subscribe in the top
somewhere.
Right. So this is my right, and I think that's your right. YouTube. All right.
We're still learning.
See,
our other episodes will get better.
It'll be better. We might have a theme song. Maybe.
So if you've got ideas or topics that you want us to talk about, make sure you drop those in the comments below. Otherwise, we want to make a shout out to our veterans since it is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Thank you to all our veterans.
All
of our friends, family that have gone off to serve in the military.
Yeah.
All those American heroes that have come back and those that did not. We thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's you really think about it. It's like those real. We asked that superhero question. It's like the real heroes of this country wear camo. That's right. This is what they wear.
Right. Yeah.
That's without you guys, we wouldn't be here. Hands down.
We were founded on a war.
We're founded on a war.
All right. I think that's enough.
That's out.
We're
done.
Hang on. Where's the stop button? Oh, there it is.